At the accumulation of and us, immediately called for Beverly. She appeared a moment later, cutting her wine-stained dress, attractive, affronted that someone was aggravating her during her party. I'm sorry, but the affair is by invitation only, she said dismissively. Then she saw me continuing abaft Robert, and her face askance into something ugly. And you are absolutely not welcome here, Mrs. Henderson. Robert said, his voice calm. But accustomed and authority that fabricated Beverly booty a footfall back. I'm Robert Thompson. I accept you apperceive my daughter. Beverly looked confused. Your daughter? I don't apperceive what affection of you bodies are playing. But I already told this she's not acceptable in my home. My daughter, Robert repeated louder this time. Alicia Thompson, the woman you aloof ashamed, and threw out into a storm. Abaft Beverly. Other party guests were starting to gather, curious about the commotion. I saw Michael blame through the crowd. His face anemic aback. He saw me continuing there. Thompson, one of the men abaft Beverly, whispered urgently. Robert Thompson from Thompson Industries. I watched Beverly's face change as the realization hit her. Her eyes went advanced, and all the color drained from her cheeks. You threw my babe out of your house. Robert continued. His articulation getting harder. Anniversary word. You alleged her worthless trash. You ashamed her in front of abounding of people. You had security escort her out like a criminal. And you did all of this to the daughter of Addition, who could buy and advertise your entire ancestors a cafeteria tomorrow. The crowd of Beverly was growing, and I could apprehend overextension through the group. Thompson Industries. Billions of dollars. That's Robert Thompson. Beverly was abashed now. Aggravating to form words. I didn't know. I mean, she never said what? Robert asked. That her ancestor was rich. That she came from money. Does that change how you amusement people? Does someone's bank annual as a human being? Michael assuredly begin his voice. Mr. Thompson, sir. I'm Michael Henderson. I'm affiliated to Alicia. I had no abstraction about. I mean, if I had known. Robert, angry to attending at Michael, and the abhorrence in his eyes was unmistakable. You had no abstraction. About what? That your wife adapted to be treated with respect. That she deserved to accept her bedmate avert her. You stood by and let your mother alarm your wife trash. And your cogent the only botheration was that you didn't know she had money. The blackout continued on forever. Every actuality at that affair was staring at us, assuredly understanding what had aloof happened. They had just humiliated the babe of one of the most able men in the country. Alicia Beverly said. Her articulation afraid now. Please, there's been a terrible misunderstanding. If I had accepted who you were, but I wasn't absorbed in her apologies anymore. I had spent 2 years aggravating to earn these people's respect. And now I understood. I never bear it in the first place. You appetite to apperceive the funny thing? I said, assuredly speaking up. I would admired you anyway. If you had just advised me like a native being. If you had aloof me basal kindness. I would accept the best daughter-in-law you could accept asked for. Money wouldn't have mattered. But you showed me who you really are. All of you. I looked at Michael. The man I had admired, abundant to marry. And you let your mother call your wife worthless. And you said nothing. You chose them over me. And money doesn't change that. Robert placed on my shoulder. We should go. He said gently. You don't owe these people anything else. But before we left, one of the men who had appeared with us stepped forward. He was acutely a lawyer. Expensive clothing, an attaché, and everything. Mrs. Henderson, he said formally. My applicant will be pursuing legal activity for aspersion and emotional distress. You can apprehend to hear from us. As we about face to leave, I heard Beverly calling afterwards. Us. Desperate now. Please, Alicia. We can work this out. Your family. Michael loves you. I chock full and angry about one last time. Ancestors doesn't each other out in storm. I said. And love doesn't abandon the moment things get uncomfortable. Afresh, I absolved abroad from that abode and that activity forever. 6 months later, I was active in a penthouse accommodation that my father bought for me. Alive at Thompson in a job that actually mattered, and acquired what it acquainted to accept a absolute family. Robert and I spent every anniversary aloof, talking, making up for 28 years of absent time. The Hendersons approved to acquaintance dozens of times. Beverly, beatific flowers, and jewelry, and handwritten apologies. Michael called and texted, and a light showed up at my appointment architecture allure for another chance. But I was done with all of that. I had begun article better. I had found myself. I had begun my real family. And I had abstrused that you should never let anyone accomplish you feel small. Because you never apperceive who you really are until you apperceive area you come from. So there I was. No best. The girl they threw away. But a woman who found her absolute family. If this adventure moved you, accident that like button and acquaint me in the comments what you would accept in my situation. Subscribe for more incredible accurate like this one. And remember, you never apperceive who someone really is until you amuse them with respect. I'll see you in the abetting video. All.